Welcome to Factorio, where we have steel shortage. Steel is never made particularly quickly, and to be honest, to call it a shortage is maybe a little overkill. But we certainly don't have as much steel as we need, so we're just going to expand that a little bit to start with, before looking into everything else that we're missing at the moment. I think by and large we're doing pretty well, but when it comes down to it, uh, it's only a matter of time before we start running out of some, I imagine, fairly critical aspects to our production build. So we're going to set about rectifying that as and when time comes. So first things first is steel. Now I've got two electric furnaces manufacturing steel down in my blue flask department, but they're having trouble keeping up with demand. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting together some old school steel manufacturing using these steel furnaces, which should help to sort out just a little of the shortfall. Or at least that's the plan. Anyway, let's get these going. I mean, it's not going to be quick by any stretch, but it should at least, in theory, provide enough steel to keep us moving forwards. So, what have we been doing lately? So, our kind of fundamentals at the moment are keep ticking along. We're doing all right. Research is happening at a relatively decent speed, but what we haven't got is we haven't got redundancy at all. We're not building in sufficient quantities to ensure that that all of our problems from now unto the future are resolved. So we've got a couple of provider chests up here already, and that's going to end up being steel storage. At least that's the theory. Get some transport belt action on the go. And yeah, I mean, this is. I mean, there is an argument to be made for, in the late game, should you really be mucking around with all that old tech that you had going on? And I say yes, frankly, why not? Have I got a fast inserter kicking around? So yeah, I mean, one of the big problems with the burners that you build early in the game, so with whether it's an inserter or whether it's God, I've lost my thinking entirely. Yeah, inserters or furnaces or anything along those lines, are you still going to want them later on? Now, I mean, in terms of burner furnaces, burner drills, no, frankly. It's just too inefficient to use them later on. But even then, they could still have value in a remote area, potentially. Okay, yeah, you see, you've already made that, so that's not working properly. Anyway. There we go. All right, we've got some steel being made, and it's going straight into a passive supplier chest, which means that it will start to find itself where it needs to go. At least I hope it starts to find itself where it needs to go. Because one of those places it needs to go is to me. Damn it. Right. Okay. Let's shut you down, and you, and you, and you, and move it. So yeah, we're using up a little bit more solid fuel. It shouldn't be a problem. We've got plenty of all of this stuff. You've milled those too close. It shouldn't be a problem. We've got plenty of everything. There we go. Let's do that there. Let's put the belts in first. That would be what the smart people do. Grand. Okay, yeah. Now, you pick me up some of that and get to work. I thought I had another inserter. Where's it gone? No? Alright, well, I'll just make one then. Fine. And let's grab you off the end. No, you don't need a fast belt. This is not a fast belt kind of a scenario. And you there, off we go. Excellent. Right. So, I mean, those are not going to be quick. I mean, there are 4 of them, which is going to be semi-helpful, I guess. But the real fact of it comes down to just how much you're using this stuff. So in my case, you know, I'm not actually going through steel at a rate of knots, but it is always good to have. I mean, as you can see from the logistics request I've got here, I do want 200 in stock, so that should the need arise, I can whip up another Roboport or another whatever. So yeah, so I've got the requests in for that, and hopefully my loving network of robot chums should sort that out. Look at that, what a mess. Let's put that in there as well. I mean, I quite like the disorganized beauty of passive providers, um, because what have we got going on here? We could probably destroy that. There we go. And then let's put those in here. Yeah, because they will just supply it wherever it needs to go. There we go. Let's put some laser turrets in there as well. Then they can be replaced. So if something gets blown up, it can be replaced. If you put in a request for something at short notice, it can be replaced. So I've got a request in for steel furnaces because I couldn't be bothered to go look for them earlier. But there you go. Don't need them anymore. In fact, what I'll do is I'll go stick those in a box. Save carrying them around. Good. All right. Actually, let's put a few of these in here as well. So on our last magnificent crusade to deal with the aliens, we did run a little bit low on power. Here we go again. We're talking about power. And to be honest, I don't know if that was an anomaly or if that was actually we are running out of power. Now, certainly when I start to look at these big guns that I'm thinking about, where are we? We need advanced processing units. I imagine they're going to suck down power like no tomorrow, and they need sulfuric acid. Okay. They need regular circuits, advanced circuits, and sulfuric acid. Interesting. And in fact, a little bit exciting. Let's get a requester chest built, ready for this mission. Do we want to be doing this now? Yeah, yes, I suppose. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's get a proper bit of... No, I've got 23 on me. You guys can probably knock off work, to be honest. Ooh, good. Logistics for robots. That's what we like to see. Stone me, we can go logistics for robots again. I think that's overkill. Let's just make them go faster. Yeah, go faster is definitely the way. Right, let's pick up all these. So, in the end, for those of you who watch regularly, I did not build roboports all the way down the bottom. I decided to stop being so damn lazy and fix it myself, which is the superior piece of thinking there. I apologise for those of you let down by the fact that I was even contemplating doing it the lazy way. Right, so what are we making? Advanced circuits. So let's... will that do it? It's as good a place as any. Right. Processing unit. Not a circuit, it's a processing unit. You've already got advanced circuits. Okay, so yeah, it's a processing unit. It's not an advanced circuit. What the hell are you talking about? So let's pipe this down here and hope my supply keeps up. In fact, let's go and have a look at how we're doing here. Since I only have one place making it, and it's not going flat out. And that's not down to a sulfur shortage. What is it down to? It's not water. Interesting. Maybe it's got nowhere to go. It's got nowhere to go. Okay, fine. It is keeping up with demand. That's all good. Let's put my requester in here. What are you requesting? Something. Let's get a fast, just so that it doesn't bottleneck. Let's get a regular outer. Do that. Provider chest, because that seems to make sense. And then I want a requester, which I've already got. What do you need? You need advanced and you need regulars. Alright, cool. Okay, this is quite exciting. This is an entirely new thing we're trying to work on. And then let's have it request 20 of those as well. constant stream, I'm sure. Right, and then let's bang in one of these. Gone are the days where we waste space by sticking down regular electricity poles all over the place. These days we stick down flaming great substations instead. Okay, how are we going? You need some of those. Well, let's give you a few to get started and see how you crack on. Yeah, okay, so we possibly, well, in fact, we almost definitely ought to be thinking about putting some productivity modules in there. Okay, right, alright, we got one. Let's not get carried away. Let's just get that making 2 blocks worth. Right, so next, what do we need? 10 laser turrets, got that. Steel plate, got that. 5 processing units. Alright, stroll on. Alright, that'll be done in a minute. I'm quite excited to see what this does. It's going to go immediately onto the front line so that it can shoot some fools. The fools in question being biters. And what I'm most looking forward to is what if it's got really good range? If it's got good range, that'd be nice. But I suspect, moreover, it's probably standard ranged. Okay, right, all right. I'll leave that going, and let's go and have a look at the iron situation. Because last time I passed my iron mine, it didn't look like we had as much in there as we were used to. So what have we got? Sure, 3.1 in most of these. 3.1, of course, being the capacity. Trains are still full. Okay, well that's something, I guess. So let's trot up here and see what the situation is. I mean, it's only a matter of time before it runs out anyway. And thanks to my my military escapades last time around, we've got somewhere to expand into. Good times. How are we doing? Okay, the accumulators aren't draining too fast. Actually, it's not so bad. Those are almost full. It's just that we're not providing at full speed. Don't get hit by the train. Which means that you're empty. As we've discussed, every time I've revisited here, my primary objective in laying this stuff out is to clear as we go. So make sure that it's constant forward progression and we don't leave tiddly bits of iron hanging around, even if that means building iron mines on top of a very small resource indeed. It's preferable in my bag than to leaving tiddly little bits behind that you think, oh, can I be bothered to mine it? No, probably not. So there we go, let's get those going. Okay. Bang you in there. Tell you what, you chaps have done well. You can even have a light. How's that sound? Hey! Right, what else have we got? Okay, well there should be plenty coming in there to jam all of that up. Let's have a look. Should be plenty. What have we got? 2.9 in all of these. Train cars are full. Let's have a closer look here. Yeah, it's not exactly going at warp speed, is it? Alright, let's see if we can't get another couple onto that belt. Not that we need it. I mean, we're nowhere near capacity in terms of capacity. Well, maybe we are near capacity, but we're nowhere near running out of iron at the moment. We've got more than enough here to see us through for at least a few hours. It's going to be a question of timing and making sure that we've got the replacement up and running before this runs out. So where are we going to go? We ought to go... let's go here and here and completely ignore what I was just talking about in terms of leaving space. Really? Okay, well, we'll bunch it up for one. There we go. Good times. Smashing. All right. So that's all ticking along again. That's all ticking along again. You are ticking along, right? Good. And hopefully that minor upswing should actually build up a slight queue at the front here. And to be honest, it doesn't really matter if it doesn't. But let's just have a check. Yeah, we seem to be doing all right. Okay, that's topping it up at a little bit more speed than it was before. Come on, robot, give me the stuff. Oh, I can't wait for these robots to get a little bit faster, so I don't have to wait for them to drop stuff off. Okay, what have we got going on? 6 guns firing. Now, one of the problems with the automatic repair system that the logistics gives you is that often you can't see where you're getting perpetually attacked because your logistic robots are repairing everything at such a frenetic rate that this is interesting. There is usually more of a queue here. What have we got going on here? You're full. What are you? You're just a steel chest. You're not even a provider. Oh, you're providing onto there. Okay, that's fine. I can live with that. And what are you? You're a steel chest. Okay. Alright, I don't think there's anything to worry about there. We certainly haven't got any shortages for steel. Should we go check out copper while we're in the area? Well, we're in a checking things out kind of a place. Oh, no. Some of these should be ready. 6. What's taking so long? Are we not making enough advanced circuits now? There's the queue. Yep, we could be making those faster. What's the backlog? It's copper. Yep. Copper wire. Copper wire is an absolute nightmare. I almost feel that you can't make it fast enough. That you just can't. I mean, we're almost at the point where every single block is filled. You know, all of these are going flat out. I mean, if I were to build another one, would that even help? There's the question. Meanwhile, how are we going down here? How are we going down here? We get occasional free ones. We could possibly... How many would that be? That was 8, wasn't it? We could possibly up the productivity on those. To be honest, it might be tempting to do more productivity on them still. Yes. Alright, well that's something to think about, I guess. Meanwhile, how are you doing? You're waiting for batteries, so batteries were also not providing a fast enough rate. Yes, we're really not. Ooh. Okay, right. So we need to up our battery production, which I think we'll look at doing next time, and maybe that's going to take us. Maybe that's going to require us to have more than one battery plant, because they've got the resources. They're just not outputting particularly quickly. Certainly not at the speed we want them to. So if I were to do that, where would I do it? Helpful piece of pipe in the way here. Thank you. Interesting. Okay, right. Well, I'm going to ponder that, and we'll see if we can't make that work next time around. So why don't you join me then? Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time.